Have you ever looked at someone else's patio and thought, how on earth do they make it look that good? Lush, colorful, overflowing with life, and yours is just a concrete slab with a lawn chair on it. Maybe you've tried a plant or two before and they died within a week. Maybe you don't even know where to start. Well, I am here to tell you right now, it is not your fault. You just haven't been introduced to the right plants yet. Because there is a huge difference between plants that are fussy, high maintenance, and unforgiving, and plants that practically thrive on being left alone. Welcome back to the channel, where we make gardening simple, beautiful, and totally doable for everyone. Today, we are counting down the 10 absolute best patio plants for beginners. Plants that are easy to grow, gorgeous to look at, and will make your outdoor space look like it belongs in a magazine. Let's get into it. But real quick, if you are new to this channel, welcome. We would absolutely love to have you as part of our growing garden community. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you are notified every time we drop a new video. And if you enjoyed today's content, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach more beginner gardeners just like you and keep this channel growing. Okay, we appreciate you. Now let's go. All right, let's go to the video. Let's be honest for a second. A lot of beginner gardeners give up, not because they don't have a green thumb, but because they start with the wrong plants. They pick something beautiful at the garden center, bring it home, follow the instructions on the tag, and still somehow watch it wilt and die within a few weeks. And that experience is discouraging. It makes you feel like gardening just isn't for you. But here's the truth. The right plant in the right place practically takes care of itself. And the patio is one of the best places to start your gardening journey because you are working in containers. Containers give you control. You control the soil, the water, the position. You can move things around. You can start small and build confidence. Every plant on today's list was chosen with one thing in mind: beginner success. These are plants that are forgiving if you forget to water once or twice. Plants that don't need special fertilizers, complicated pruning schedules, or expert knowledge to look incredible. Plants that reward you with beauty, color, and life without demanding perfection in return. So if you've ever wanted a beautiful patio garden but didn't know where to start, this is your starting point. Let's count down all 10. Plant number 1, Marigolds, Tajidi species. Kicking off our list at number 1 is a plant that has been a garden staple for centuries. And once you understand why, you'll wonder why you haven't been growing it all along. That plant is the marigold. Marigolds are one of the most cheerful, vibrant, and downright tough flowers you can grow in a container. They come in stunning shades of yellow, orange, gold, and deep burgundy. And they bloom continuously from late spring all the way through the first frost of fall. That is months and months of non-stop color on your patio. What makes marigolds perfect for beginners is how incredibly low maintenance they are. They love full sun, tolerate heat very well, and only need watering when the top inch of soil feels dry. They don't need special soil, they don't need frequent fertilizing, and they actually prefer slightly poor soil over rich, overly amended mixes. The key benefit of marigolds goes beyond just looks. Their strong, distinctive scent naturally repels mosquitoes, aphids, whiteflies, and other garden pests, making them a natural companion plant that protects everything else on your patio. Place them near your door or seating area and enjoy a pest-free outdoor space all season long. One caution: marigolds need deadheading to keep blooming at their best. That just means snipping off the spent, faded flowers regularly to encourage new ones to form. It takes about 5 minutes a week and makes a massive difference in how long and how abundantly they bloom. Deadhead consistently, and your marigolds will reward you with flowers non-stop all season long. Plant number 2, Petunias, Petunia times hybrida. Coming in at number 2 is arguably the most popular patio container plant in the entire world, and that is the petunia. If you've ever walked past a garden center in spring and seen those overflowing hanging baskets and window boxes absolutely bursting with color, chances are you were looking at petunias. Petunias are a trailing, spreading flower that comes in what feels like every color imaginable, from pure white to hot pink to deep purple to bold red to delicate lavender and even beautiful striped bicolor varieties. They are absolutely stunning in containers, hanging baskets, window boxes, and patio pots where they can spill over the edges and create that lush, cascading look. For beginners, petunias are a dream because they are incredibly adaptable and forgiving. They love full sun but can handle some light afternoon shade. They bloom from spring all the way through fall without much encouragement, and they are widely available, affordable, and come in both seed and transplant form at virtually any garden center. The key benefit of petunias is pure visual impact for minimal effort. A single large pot of trailing petunias can completely transform a bare corner of your patio into a stunning focal point. They are also fragrant in the evenings, particularly the purple and pink varieties, which adds a lovely sensory dimension to your outdoor space. The caution with petunias is that they do need regular watering, especially in containers during hot summer weather. They can wilt quickly in extreme heat if their soil dries out completely. They also benefit from a light trim mid-season if they start looking leggy or sparse. Give them a gentle haircut, a dose of balanced fertilizer, and they will bounce back beautifully within a couple of weeks. Plant number 3, lavender, Lavandula species. Number 3 on our list is a plant that engages every single sense, and that is lavender. The moment you brush your hand across a lavender plant on a warm summer evening, you'll understand exactly why this plant has been beloved by gardeners for thousands of years. Lavender is a compact, woody-stemmed perennial herb that produces beautiful spikes of purple flowers above silvery green foliage. It is one of the most fragrant plants in the entire plant kingdom, and that fragrance is not just pleasant. It actively repels mosquitoes, flies, moths, and other insects that you definitely don't want on your patio. For patio containers, compact varieties like Hidcote, Munstead, or the Phenomenal series are ideal choices. They stay tidy and manageable in pots, flower abundantly, and thrive in full sun with very well-draining soil. Lavender is actually one of those rare plants that prefers to be a little dry. It absolutely hates having wet feet, which makes it surprisingly forgiving if you forget to water it for a few days. The key benefit of lavender on a patio is its incredible multi-purpose value. It's beautiful. It smells amazing. It repels pests. It attracts bees and butterflies. You can harvest the flowers and dry them for sachets, cooking, or homemade beauty products. It is genuinely one of the most useful plants you can grow in a container. The caution: lavender absolutely requires excellent drainage. If you plant it in heavy, moisture-retaining soil or a pot without drainage holes, it will rot and die very quickly. Use a sandy, well-draining potting mix and make sure your container drains freely after every watering. Get the drainage right, and lavender is honestly one of the easiest plants on this entire list. Plant number 4, Geraniums, Pelargonium species. Number 4 is a classic patio plant that has been gracing porches, patios, and balconies for generations. And that is the geranium. If you've ever seen those iconic red flower-filled window boxes on European cottages and Mediterranean terraces, you've seen geraniums at their absolute finest. Geraniums, technically Pelargoniums, are compact, bushy flowering plants that produce large, rounded clusters of flowers in bright red, hot pink, soft salmon, white, lavender, and bicolor varieties. They have beautiful, round, velvety leaves that are often fragrant themselves, and they bloom abundantly from spring through fall with minimal coaxing. What makes geraniums so perfect for beginners is their incredible drought tolerance. Geraniums actually bloom better when their soil is allowed to dry out somewhat between waterings. Overwatering is the #1 killer of geraniums. So if you tend to forget to water sometimes, these plants will genuinely thrive under your care. The key benefit of geraniums is their longevity and versatility. Unlike many annual plants that you buy fresh every spring, geraniums can be overwintered indoors and brought back out the following season. With proper care, a single geranium plant can live for years, growing larger, fuller, and more beautiful every season. The caution: like marigolds, geraniums need regular deadheading to keep blooming at their best. Remove spent flower heads as soon as they fade to prevent the plant from going to seed and to encourage continuous new blooms. Also, if you notice any yellowing leaves at the base of the plant, simply remove them to improve air circulation and keep the plant looking tidy and healthy. Plant number 5, Pothos, Epipremnum aureum. Number 5 on our list is perhaps the most famously unkillable plant in the entire world, and that is the pothos. If there is one plant on this list that was literally born for beginner gardeners, it is this one. Pothos is a trailing, vining houseplant with gorgeous, heart-shaped leaves that come in a stunning variety of colors and patterns. Classic golden yellow and green, pure neon green, beautiful silver and gray marble, deep rich green and white, and even rare varieties with almost entirely golden foliage. It trails and cascades beautifully from containers, making it a spectacular addition to a shaded patio or covered outdoor sitting area. Pothos thrives in a wide range of light conditions, from bright indirect light to quite deep shade, which makes it ideal for patios that don't get a lot of direct sunshine. It tolerates irregular watering, low humidity, and a wide range of temperatures. You genuinely have to try hard to kill a pothos, which is what makes it so perfect for anyone just starting their plant journey. The key benefit of pothos on a patio is how effortlessly it adds lush, tropical, cascading greenery to shaded spaces where flowering plants often struggle. A large hanging basket of pothos on a covered porch or pergola instantly makes the space feel like a lush garden retreat, with almost zero maintenance required. The caution: pothos is not frost hardy and must be brought indoors before temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It is also toxic to cats and dogs if ingested, so keep it out of reach of pets. And while pothos tolerates low light, it will grow faster, fuller, and with more vibrant color if given bright, indirect light rather than deep shade. Plant number 6, begonias, begonia species. Coming in at number 6 is a plant that is absolutely perfect for those patios that don't get a lot of direct sunlight, and that is the begonia. If shade has been your biggest gardening challenge, begonias are about to become your absolute best friend. Begonias are a massive plant family with hundreds of varieties, but for patio containers, the two most popular types are wax begonias and tuberous begonias. Wax begonias are compact, mounding plants with glossy leaves and small but abundant flowers in red, pink, white, and coral. Tuberous begonias are more dramatic, producing enormous, rose-like flowers in breathtaking shades of red, orange, yellow, pink, and white that can rival any rose garden. What makes begonias so outstanding for beginners is their shade tolerance. While most flowering plants demand full sun, begonias actually prefer partial to full shade, blooming abundantly in conditions where other plants would simply give up. If your patio is under a pergola, on a north-facing wall, or shaded by trees or buildings, begonias are your answer. The key benefit of begonias is that they bring explosion of color to shaded spaces that would otherwise be dull and lifeless. A cluster of tuberous begonias in a large container on a shady patio is genuinely one of the most stunning container combinations in all of gardening, and they require very little effort to look absolutely spectacular. The caution: begonias do not like to sit in wet, soggy soil. Water them when the top inch of soil feels dry, and make sure their containers drain freely. Tuberous begonias, in particular, can rot quickly if overwatered. They also need to be brought indoors or the tubers dug up and stored before the first frost arrives in fall. Plant number 7, hostas, hosta species. Number 7 is one of the most beloved foliage plants in the entire world, and it belongs on every shady patio. That plant is the hosta. If begonias are the queen of shade flowers, then hostas are undeniably the king of shade foliage. Hostas are perennial plants grown primarily for their spectacular, bold, architectural leaves rather than their flowers. And those leaves are truly something extraordinary. They come in an incredible range of sizes, shapes, textures, and colors. You can find hostas with giant dinner plate-sized leaves in deep blue-green, or miniature varieties with delicate chartreuse foliage, or stunning varieties with bold cream and green variegation, or golden yellow varieties that practically glow in the shade. For a shaded patio, hostas are almost unmatched in the lush, dramatic, tropical-feeling texture they bring to container arrangements. They pair beautifully with begonias, impatiens, ferns, and other shade lovers. In larger containers, a single large hosta variety can serve as a stunning standalone specimen plant that becomes a true focal point of your entire patio. The key benefit of hostas is that they are true perennials, meaning they come back year after year, growing larger and more impressive every season. A hosta you plant this year in a container will be significantly bigger and more beautiful next year, and even more spectacular the year after that. They are a long-term investment in the beauty of your patio. The caution: hostas are deer candy. If you have deer in your area, they will absolutely devour your hostas if given the chance. Use deer repellent spray or choose deer-resistant companion plants to protect them. Slugs and snails also love hostas and can leave unsightly holes in the leaves. Use slug pellets or copper tape around your containers to keep them at bay. Plant number 8, herbs, basil, mint, rosemary, thyme. Number 8 is not just one plant. It's an entire category of plants that every beginner patio gardener should have, and that is a container herb garden. Growing herbs on your patio is one of the most satisfying, practical, and rewarding things you can do as a beginner gardener, and it's even easier than you might think. The 4 herbs we recommend most highly for patio beginners are basil, mint, rosemary, and thyme. These 4 cover a range of growing conditions and uses, and together they form a compact, beautiful, and incredibly useful herb garden that you can have right outside your back door. Basil loves full sun and warm temperatures. Grow it in a medium pot and harvest regularly to keep it bushy and prevent it from flowering too quickly. Mint is incredibly vigorous and actually grows best in its own container because it will take over if planted with other herbs. Rosemary is a drought-tolerant, woody Mediterranean herb that loves sun and poor, well-draining soil. And thyme is a low-growing, spreading herb that is almost impossible to kill. It thrives in heat, drought, and neglect. The key benefit of a patio herb garden is the sheer joy and practicality of stepping outside and snipping fresh herbs directly into your cooking. There is something profoundly satisfying about growing your own food, even in the smallest space. And herbs are the perfect entry point into edible gardening for absolute beginners. The caution: keep mint in its own container. This cannot be stressed enough. Mint spreads aggressively via underground runners and will completely take over any pot it shares with other plants within a single season. Give it its own dedicated container, and it will behave beautifully and give you more fresh mint than you could ever use. Plant number 9, Calibrachoa/million bells, Calibrachoa species. Number 9 is a plant that looks like someone took a petunia and put it through a miniaturization ray, and the result is absolutely magical. That plant is Calibrachoa, also known as million bells. Calibrachoa produces tiny, perfectly formed bell-shaped flowers that look like miniature petunias. But unlike petunias, Calibrachoa is self-cleaning, meaning the spent flowers drop off on their own without any deadheading required. And the blooms are truly relentless. This plant can produce literally hundreds and hundreds of tiny flowers simultaneously, completely covering the plant in a solid carpet of color from spring through fall. Calibrachoa comes in an extraordinary range of colors. Every shade of pink, purple, red, yellow, orange, white, bronze, and stunning multicolor combinations that look like something out of a painting. It trails beautifully from hanging baskets and containers, and it is particularly stunning when combined with other trailing plants like sweet potato vine or bacopa. The key benefit of Calibrachoa for beginners is that it is genuinely self-maintaining in terms of flower production. No deadheading, no complicated pruning, just regular watering, occasional fertilizing, and consistent sun. And it will reward you with a non-stop flower show from the moment you bring it home to the first frost. The caution? Calibrachoa is a heavy feeder and needs regular fertilizing to maintain its spectacular bloom production. Use a slow-release granular fertilizer at planting time, then supplement with a liquid bloom booster fertilizer every couple of weeks throughout the growing season. Skipping fertilizer will cause the plant to slow down and look tired, so stay consistent with feeding for best results. Plant number 10, ornamental sweet potato vine, Ipomoea batatas. And rounding out our list at number 10 is a plant that might just be the most versatile, dramatic, and easy-to-grow foliage plant available for patio containers. And that is the ornamental sweet potato vine. Ornamental sweet potato vine is a fast-growing, trailing foliage plant with stunning heart-shaped or deeply lobed leaves that come in the most extraordinary colors. You can choose from deep, dramatic black-purple varieties like Blackie, electric chartreuse green varieties like Marguerite or Sweet Caroline light green, rich bronze copper tones, and even gorgeous tricolor varieties that combine multiple hues on a single plant. What makes sweet potato vine so incredibly useful for beginner patio gardeners is its role as a spiller in container combinations. In the world of container gardening, the most beautiful pots follow what designers call the thriller, filler, spiller formula. One dramatic centerpiece plant, one bushy middle plant, and one trailing plant that spills over the edge. Sweet potato vine is the ultimate spiller. It cascades out of containers in long, dramatic trails, that can reach several feet, giving your pots that lush, overflowing, professionally designed look. The key benefit of sweet potato vine is how absurdly fast and easy it grows. This plant practically sprints. It can add a foot or more of new trailing growth in a single week under warm conditions. It tolerates heat, drought, and full sun to partial shade with equal enthusiasm, making it one of the most adaptable plants on this entire list. The caution? Sweet potato vine grows so vigorously that it can sometimes overwhelm smaller companion plants in shared containers. Trim it back periodically if it starts taking over the pot. Also note that while the tubers that form underground are technically edible, ornamental varieties are bred for foliage, not flavor, so they're not worth cooking. And like all sweet potatoes, this plant is frost sensitive and must be brought in or discarded before the first freeze of fall. And there you have it, the 10 absolute best patio plants for beginners that will completely transform your outdoor space from a bare, boring slab into a lush, colorful, living garden you are genuinely proud of. Let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today. We started with the cheerful, pest-repelling marigold and the spectacular color of petunias. We talked about the fragrant, multi-purpose lavender and the drought-tolerant, classic geranium. We covered the virtually unkillable pothos and the shade-loving begonia. We explored the dramatic foliage of hostas and the practical joy of a container herb garden. And we rounded out the list with the self-cleaning million bells of calabricoa and the fast-trailing drama of sweet potato vine. Every single plant on this list was chosen because it is forgiving, beautiful, and genuinely manageable for someone who is just getting started. You don't need years of experience. You don't need expensive tools or a big budget. You just need the right plants. And now you have them. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. It means the world to us that you spent your time here, and we truly hope you feel inspired and ready to start building the patio garden of your dreams. If this video helped you in any way, please show us some love with a big thumbs up. It genuinely makes a huge difference in helping us reach more gardeners who need this kind of guidance. Every like means so much to us and to this community. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell right now so you never miss a single upload. We post new gardening content regularly, covering everything from beginner plant guides to container gardening tips to seasonal how-tos that will help you grow more confidently every single year. We will see you in the very next video. Until then, get outside, get your hands in the soil, and happy gardening.